Neil DenBleyker, Radarman, second class. And then when I got out of the service, I had been going with a girl. And so when I got home, we called her up and we said I was going to ship over, like I say. And so I said, I think you couldn't buy a job. Creed was over now. There's so many men, so I got tired of beating. So I went to work for my future wife's father. He owned a business. But in them days I got paid $1 an hour and we worked 60 hours. So I made $60 a week. My wife was a hairdresser. She was a stylist in them days. She had been to Toronto, New York for stylist school. She made big money. So in 1 year, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I said, well, I'm going to ship over. She says, here's the deal. She says, we're getting engaged at Christmas, married in May. If that ain't up to you, she says, goodbye. She said, I'm not going to be a seagoing wife if you're at sea and I'm on shore. So I said, okay, so that was it. We got married. So like I say, I worked and then, I probably worked a couple of years maybe. We saved up $10,000 in that 2 years. And mostly from my wife's. So we went to buy a little Cape Cod in the suburbs, and it was only 12,000 something. We had 10,000 cash. So we applied for a mortgage, and we didn't qualify, because in them days they didn't take your wife's salary in consideration, just yours, just the males. So we didn't qualify. So we had 10 grand. By now we added a little. So I said to my father-in-law, because he was a businessman, I says, what can we do? The bank, they didn't get no interest. He says, well, you can invest it in stocks or whatever. Or he said, I know a friend of mine that's got an apartment house. He says it's very successful. He says it pays for itself. And so we did. We assumed a mortgage with the 10 grand, and it was a 5-family. But I didn't live there. It was all one family. People been there for years. So we went to rented an apartment. So I was getting discouraged. I said, well, I got to do something. So I went back to my high school and got my transcripts, and I went to the State College in New York on a GI Bill. Now, my wife was, at that time, had gotten pregnant for her first child, so she was ready to deliver, not that around there. So I went up, had an apartment up at school. They called it Vets Village. There's a lot of teachers there's 2 colleges, State University of New York, Canton, and then there was St. Lawrence University. So some of the professors from both colleges lived in these apartments. So the married ones I think they allowed us 5. And this guy's on a GI Bill like me. So we went and then, so graduated, got a job, and stayed in Syracuse. I had better job offers, but they were out of town. She didn't want to leave Syracuse, so but I had a good career outside and got to make pretty decent, really good money for my position, but I traveled. I'd fly out on Monday and fly home Friday. Of course, the company paid for all. I didn't pay. I was in Richmond, Virginia for 3 years. So we took and they rented a whole townhouse and took the whole family this time. We did no more flying. And that was 3 years there. We enjoyed it. So I retired. They didn't want me to retire at 62. Our pension for the company was 60 years old. That I worked 2 years, and then they tried to, after I had retired, they wanted me to come back. I said, no, I'm tired of babysitting. These young kids don't want to work. They want big money, but they don't want to work. So that was my whole career, I guess.